Um, we just request you to use the raise hand feature if you'd like to ask a question or share, and we'll call on you. You can also drop questions in the chat anytime. We'll pause for Q&A at set moments or whenever Sonia feels like she wants to take them. That's perfectly fine. I know you all are traveling, so no pressure, but please turn your camera on if you have the bandwidth, internet bandwidth. It's completely optional, but it just helps us be a little more interactive. And then, yeah, please stay present, ask questions. Very excited to do this with you and for you. And thank you, EduNet, for the partnership as well. With that, I will hand it over to our coach for the day, Sonia. I'm super excited to introduce you to an industry veteran like her. She's an HR professional with over 7 years of experience in recruitment and global shared services across APAC, EMEA, and the US. Sonia holds an MBA and has been with LinkedIn now for over a year. What really stands out about her is her belief in constant learning and in paying it forward, sharing what she's learned to help others grow in their careers. On a personal note, she loves animals. She's a big animal lover, and she's someone who really believes that even small gestures of kindness can make a real difference. We're really looking forward to a meaningful session with her today. We got very lucky with her. So, thanks again. And over to you, Sonia.
Thank you so much, Upasana, and also the EduNet team that you have scheduled such a, you can say, huge batch for the first session, and I hope that everyone can take away the most of what I can help them during the following sessions. So hello everyone, my name is Sonia. So as Upasana have already given you, can say a quick summary about my journey so far into the professional space. Today here, I look forward to, kind of interacting with you more, I would say, rather than like going on a very monotonous or maybe a theoretical things, because I believe that you are at a stage wherein even I think all of us are where at some point of time once we pass out of our college. So, the aim is to kind of, impart as much as practical knowledge to you all people so that whenever you kind of try to take any career diversion or any career related decisions, at least it becomes easy for you that yeah, what can you expect when you step into the professional space. So that is what like we're trying to aim at, and other than that I would always open the platform for you guys to kind of ask questions and like take away as much as possible, because to be very honest, I'm also learning at the same time, and I believe that even I'll get to learn a lot from every one of you. So yeah, so let's look forward to it. Yeah. Yeah, thumbs up. Okay. All right. So I'll take it over from here then. Or is there anything else, Upasana, or
No, Sonia, you can start.
Okay, okay, fine then. I'll just do one thing. I'll just like quickly, I can say present a deck which we have, related to AI. Following which, I think maybe the questions that we gather from this session onwards, we can curate the upcoming sessions accordingly. So this is just like a very, normal, you can say session today to start off with. But before that, I would be really happy that you guys intervene me in between if in case you have any kind of questions. I would be happy to answer. I know it's a huge audience, so some of them might feel very nervous or also hesitate to ask a lot of things. And but I would only encourage that you can ask as much as possible, because yeah, obviously we are there for you, and the session is already scheduled for you people, right? So that you guys may benefit from it, most of it. Okay, so just hang on. I'll quickly share my screen. And you might just feel to unmute maybe one by one, just in case while presenting, I might not be able to see the chat box. So just feel free to kind of, unmute yourself and maybe ask the questions one by one. Yeah, all good? Shall we start? Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Before that, just allow me 1 minute. I'll quickly just share my screen so that there is no overlap here and there. Just bear with me for another minute. 1 minute. Just let me know, any one of you, by unmuting yourself, whether you're able to see my screen or not.
No, ma'am.
No,
I'll
ma'am.
just start sharing. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I'm not yet shared. I'll just share it so that you can just let me know once I start sharing. Okay, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just kind of, move this over here so that it becomes easy for everyone, to kind of see it. But just let me know, as I said, feel free to, stop me anywhere, anytime, because I would be happy to kind of take you through different things. All right. So before I start, I just like want to know that does every one of you have an account on LinkedIn?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All of
ma'am.
you?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So how long it's been like, since you have created an account? Anyone?
Ma'am, there is an
1
issue with
year.
my
Yes.
account.
Okay. Somebody said
Excuse me,
like
ma'am.
you are having an issue with your account, Anvi, right?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, my account has been restricted due to some reasons. I don't know what. I
Mhm.
created my account on 22nd Jan. This
Oh,
22nd
this
Jan.
year, right? Okay, okay.
So
Have you
I'm
like
not able
kind
to
of,
access.
asked whoever to kind of, just check on what are the issues?
Ma'am, they asked me to verify it. I did it, but there is no response yet.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll just take note of it so that, we can kind of gather these things and then send it across, right? Okay, fine. I'll just put it across.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so maybe other, I think since we have 50 students on board minus one, so all the 49 people, their account is like working. Can I see a thumbs up from everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So, since you have created your account, so what is the first thought, when you just created your account on LinkedIn for the first time? What is your thought about LinkedIn? And what exactly you guys have done so far on the platform? Can any one of you or maybe a couple of them can just tell me,
To connect people, ma'am.
right? Anybody else?
To get an
Anyone?
internship.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone?
For me, it was also the above. I wanted to connect with people and get internships.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I first wanted to create my personal brand as well.
Okay.
So that's a work in progress. But yeah, it's really fun being there. Not just like I just don't get to like apply to internships, but I also get to like wholeheartedly talk to people, connect to people, but in
Okay.
the more professional sense because we bond over what we've done so far. And I get to learn a lot from them. In fact, I got to know about this fellowship from a friend on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So yeah, it was I personally find it very fun.
Okay, that's nice. Nice to hear about that. Anybody else? Any thoughts? Why LinkedIn? I mean, there are so many other platforms today. I mean, in the time of social media, right? Platforms to do a lot of things. But we think that LinkedIn is why most of people choose to connect on a professional different than what we have in terms of the other tools. Anyone? I mean, any wrong answers is fine. I'll be very honest with you guys. That when I just did my bachelor's, right, and I first happened to come down to Bangalore. I was searching for an internship, but eventually I got a full time with the company that gave me employment for the first. Even if you have an account, the outside students want something, right? So that is how we are trying to plan this entire thing out. So you can just let me know any thoughts, any thoughts. So any thoughts on that? Why LinkedIn? Why is it like, only LinkedIn is a place that we can maybe get to know somebody? There are so many other mediums, right? So any thoughts on that?
Maybe, ma'am, because it is a trusted one.
Okay, all right, fine. Anything else? Anyone? Yeah, Ishita, I see your
We
hand
can
up.
share our
And it
ideas
may be
also.
the professional one.
Professional.
Yes.
Okay.
We can
Trust.
share our ideas.
Anything else?
Ma'am, I believe why LinkedIn is like used mostly like all over the world is because I think it was, I believe so, I'm not sure about this, but the first that was giving so much connectivity to employers and fellow employees, and that platform that you connect with professionals. It also provides a lot of features that like probably some other platforms may not provide. It provides you like certifications that helps boost your career. You have various features to showcase your caliber over LinkedIn profile. You can brand yourself. Basically, you're marketing yourself on LinkedIn, right? And I think LinkedIn is being used everywhere in this. It's restricted to like one region or one country. You can connect with someone, I mean, out of India as well. And since I was in Canada for like 3 years, um, and then so I was connecting to people in Canada, and then I would change the region and connect with people in India as well. So it was, I mean, I feel like it was really helpful because I, for one, was very confused if I want to stay in Canada or to come back to India. And I was like,
Ah,
So I'm a media student, and I've kind of I've kind of seen people do personal branding both on LinkedIn and Instagram.
mhm.
And why I personally think LinkedIn is so essential for networking is because, as Ishita mentioned, people feel a bit more like professional there. It's a bit more comfortable because for our generation, Instagram is typically more for like casual contact. So you don't know like how people are going to respond to you there. And I feel for LinkedIn, as Ishita mentioned, that you get to talk to people from a variety of regions just because you share maybe the same interest in a career role. And
Mhm.
you get to learn a lot about what their aspirations are and what kind of like work you can do. So a
Yeah.
fun incident of mine is that I actually have I made a friend from Canada. He's a AI design, like, yeah. So we connected. He's actually working in tech, but we connected because we both share a love for design. And yeah, I could not unfortunately do any projects with him, but I got to talk to another friend who I was like, who gave me this brilliant idea for a marketing project. And she is amazing. She's actually a Nigerian immigrant who is currently studying in Boston. So it
Mhm.
was really fun, like just talking. I know I'm using fun a lot, but generally, as an ambivert, I did not feel that networking would be this easy. And I think the kind of like opportunity I got to connect with people on LinkedIn and like talk to people of varying ages and nationalities kind of just made me feel more comfortable with the idea of talking to people and sharing ideas. And I feel like not just for a creative professional that I aspire to be, for everyone, I feel right now, exchanging ideas is really important because that is how you kind of get to widen your perspective in a time where, uh, execution has just gotten more simplified, but
Mhm.
ideation gets just more like emphasized on because AI is getting so crazy. I hope the last part makes sense to people, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, very relatable. Yes. Hetvi, if I'm not wrong, that's how your name is pronounced. It's Hetvi. I think you are on mute, or maybe there's some
No,
issue.
no. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, hi.
Opportunity comes to you, and also network growth, and also learn from real people, like story for your future, मतलब failure and success stories and all.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, all the girls for sharing your idea. Yeah, Ishita, you have something? I'll go with you.
Sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, fine then. I mean, that was very insightful to hear, from all of you. So if I have to like start off, like kind of why exactly LinkedIn, right? How the company grew as a very trustworthy, platform by so many, millions of people across the world to just come here for the purpose of networking initially, but I would say over a period of time, today LinkedIn is not just like only a networking tool, right? We know that LinkedIn has been able to kind of provide millions of employment opportunities, around the world. So LinkedIn, I would say today, why it stands as a very different brand than what other maybe different social media platforms are doing. First is yes, obviously, as I think many of you said, that here we come to kind of professionally build connections. When I say professionally, it means that you invest, you interact, you engage with people who are professionally, very I can say acclaimed in their careers, or they have experiences that can help to even navigate your career goals, right? You can kind of take inspiration from people's stories, their daily updates, and many people post nowadays on what is the current ongoing scenarios that is going on in the market trends, which is very essential for the upcoming generation before kind of planning a career ahead, right? Today the roles are not so traditional, like how it used to be years back, maybe in the 2000 2010. Today the things that have changed for us, it's not only that as professionals we have to kind of adapt to new things on a daily basis, but also we need to understand what actually is going on in the market, what the companies look for, what kind of people get hired, why they get hired, what are the different kind of skill sets that make them stand out from the remaining candidates who apply for the same role. And in India, as you guys know, we have such a huge population, right? We are the most populous country in the world now. So given the fact, you can understand in a year how many engineers are there, right, who kind of passes out from a particular prestigious college, even if it is a tier 2 tier 3 colleges. There are so many students who have enrolled maybe for the same course, but maybe there are students who get so many prestigious offers from various companies or universities, who are even from tier 2 or tier 3. Definitely it's not only about the kind of education career you have had, but also it's about mainly about the skill sets that you kind of build over the years or a period of time, right? So never ever always think that my education is the only thing that will kind of help me sail through this particular job interview. You need to build more knowledge, more skills, that what is also going on in the world. Because I'll tell you, being in the HR, I can say domain for so many years, right? Today, we are not just like looking for somebody, if we compare maybe a 10-year-old experienced person to a 1-year fresher, right? It's not that, okay, maybe a 10-year-old is getting, rejected and a 1-year-old, like 1-year experienced person is getting selected. Why the question mark? It's because maybe the person has built more knowledge than the person maybe who has had 10 years of experience, who took 10 years to build that knowledge, right? Maybe the 1 year has more knowledge than what the person has built over 10 years. It's not like somebody is lacking something, but I would say the evolution of technologies, the needs basically has pushed people to learn more than that, like than what actually they had. That's how the evolution has taken place over a period of time. And being from the, I can say, upcoming generation, I'm sure you guys really know, the technologies, how it is changing on a day-to-day basis. And anyone who wishes to go for engineering positions going ahead, I'm sure you guys will be knowing much better, right? So, kind of taking all these scenarios, what LinkedIn is trying to do today is that, as I think most of you have said, that you kind of got connections who were out of your geographical boundaries, right? Not only from India, you can connect to anybody and anywhere outside the world. If I take an example like for Instagram, right? People who are able to see maybe what you are doing, what not, it is only related to where you're traveling, or maybe less of your professional things, but more of your lifestyle, right? But when you are on a professional setting like LinkedIn or on this particular network or platform, here everything that you do is noticed by people, who are from reputed industry people. Correct. What they are doing versus how you are navigating your life, what are the achievements you have had in your career, in your school, colleges, especially when you're a fresher. Those are the accomplishments you are able to showcase it on LinkedIn. On Instagram, you will be just like posting maybe what a photo, a video at max, right? But on LinkedIn, you are showcasing that, hey, see, these are my achievements, these are my capabilities on the professional side, right? So, and I would say that as a person, as I said you before, also before we started a call, during my time, I would say there was nobody to tell me that, hey, you need to go and create a profile on LinkedIn. You need to kind of do these things so that you understand that, okay, how you have to land, a good job, what you have to post, whatnot. There was nobody literally, I will tell you, to kind of guide me on those areas. But today, for you people, I would say that because of the, boom of technology, as well as the you can say marketing of social media has helped you people to understand that yes, being on this platform, utilizing it to its maximum potential will help us, get somewhere, to help us find a dream job, a dream company. I'm sure everybody must be having some kind of a dream job in their life. Not necessarily you have to be, in corporate. I'm sure you will have maybe your own ideas. And how you build those ideas, that happens only through networking, only through networking. And I would say networking today is essential more than a traditional education, because you meet people, you exchange ideas, and that ideas will help you to navigate your career. Also, it might help you to eliminate some of the earlier career mistakes which many people must have done, right? So these are some of the kind of areas that LinkedIn is trying to build, and we aim to promote, I can say, LinkedIn as, I can say, not only just a tool but as a learning platform, that which is why we also have LinkedIn Learning, so that all the students, early professionals, people who have taken a career break, they can bounce back, and they can also, get trained on what are the ongoing trends in the market. At LinkedIn, the professionals try to, create courses for the upcoming generation so that it helps them to upskill themselves, right? So this is how I would say that whenever you have a LinkedIn account, first is that start to, kind of post on a day-to-day basis any small achievements, right? Anything, maybe somebody loves writing. You put your thoughts on LinkedIn that, this is how I really want, I can say, my entire feed to be like. From there, people notice, so many people, that, okay, this person has, great writing skills. And to be very honest, one of my friends have, got a very good job, you can say, into the journalism industry, to just write content, because the writing skills were very amazing, right? So you understand and, kind of learn a lot of things. Now, also, it is, one of you said that it is also a personal branding tool. Obviously, it is. I would say, because from here, when people see the idea how you have built yourself as a person, and when you build yourself, it means that you're building a brand, right? From every small achievements to everything. Nowadays, people even put their failures. How many startups have failed when they started off initially, right? And how that helped them to navigate their careers. So anybody maybe who must be, feeling very low, or maybe thinking that, hey, I lost my job, now what's next? Right? When they see some kind of contents like this that relates to them, so that person can connect with the other individual and can get an insight that, can you just also help me understand? I'm also at the same page. How can I do? What mistakes, can I avoid making in the process? So these are kind of questions that help the individuals to grow, right? So other than that, I also want to understand that, as you all are like college students, I guess. So have you all like started posting something on a LinkedIn, or maybe you're planning that you'll be doing something very creative once you're done with your, education? Anybody, any thoughts?
I have posted a lot of things.
Okay.
Like
I
when
would
I
love
was
to
in
hear.
Delhi
Maybe I think
University,
a very summarized version of.
yeah, I was appointed as a president of Economic Society. So
Okay.
I
Nice.
posted about that and the competitions which we used to organize.
Mhm.
So regarding all of that, I used to post.
And do you find that, people have reached out to you, they have, seen your work? Do you feel like it is seen in a very professional manner?
Yes, they have even recommended, like you recommend on the
Yes,
profiles, right?
right.
So yeah, two of my batchmates have done that.
So, see, this is like one of the examples, right? And I would say that, in a working career, you tend to like, change companies. You will meet different people when you move to different companies, and, interact with everybody in a very different manner, because you will be a fresher, then you will be an experienced individual, then you will move to a managerial role, and then you might take up some executive roles in your life, right? So the experiences you share and you have with different people during a period of time will vary. And those experiences, when you kind of get it from people on LinkedIn itself, other people, when they visit your profile, they're seeing that, yeah, this person was, working with this kind of a person. Oh my God, that's so nice, right? Even if you're a manager, maybe, the CEO, when suppose it's a startup, you have worked with the CEO very closely, and the person gives you recommendation, right? And then you move on to the next company, the other people, more than your resume, most of the time, they will see your LinkedIn profile. If you have seen nowadays, when you apply for a job, most of the companies, they ask for your LinkedIn URL, right? I guess most of you must have seen that. Why is
Yes,
it?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. Why is it happening? See, first thing is obviously to ensure authenticity. Okay. As an HR professional, I'll tell you that there are instances wherein people kind of just in the need to, get a job, right? They, you can say manipulate the information. So they don't like provide the exact information, right? Suppose maybe I have taken a career break. I've not provided the exact information. So just to cross validate on things, usually LinkedIn profile is checked, right? So that helps to kind of understand that, okay, whether this person have worked on these things or not, right? And other than that, I would say that I'll just do one thing before going for the next one. I'll just ask any one of you, have you like tried applying for an internship, a job, any one of you? If yes, like what
Yes,
kind
ma'am.
of?
I did it
Okay,
in legal background,
all right.
but I haven't heard anything back from LinkedIn.
Excuse me. Sorry, can you come again?
I haven't heard like any of the replies from them.
Okay, like you must have uploaded a resume, right? You must have seen the job description. Have you like gone through all of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see, sometimes what happens is that like at LinkedIn also, obviously, because AI, as you know, our parent company is Microsoft, right? So we have like, an AI screening tool that screens the resume. I'm sure like you must have learned in your college that you need to build a resume that is an ATS friendly resume, right? And most of the time you can see that there are companies that will kind of, have certain criteria to kind of screen those resumes once it passes through the ATS, okay, which is like a manual process by the recruiter, so that maybe there's a 1,000 application pool. Obviously, we can only shortlist like 50 students out of it who are like potential, you can say applicants for that particular position. So in that process, you can understand that the communication, over a screening call or maybe any form of, and you can say interview, right? Those entire parameters are being considered. Then like it is taken forward for the final decision, which happens, with an amalgamation of other people who are sitting outside of India and the people who are here in India. So this is the entire process that at LinkedIn or most of the companies will see that follows. However, you can also understand that with different kind of requirements in that particular department and the applicable, I can say, headcount that has to be hired, those are the parameters that shortlisting happens. Sometimes I'll tell you, maybe you were not in the first 100 list of applicants who must have applied for that role. But in that 100 list of applicants, there's only one potential position that is open for that particular time. And that obviously none of us will know until unless you're working for that particular role, right? So in that case, the shortlisting will obviously be on a first come, first serve basis if they get through those screening, I can say, parameters, which means that the people in that particular 100 applicant pool will have a first hand advantage because of maybe they happened to see the job posting first and they were very active, so they applied first, right? So these are some of the, you can say, things that happens, but it doesn't mean always that you have to feel rejected. You have to feel that, okay, no, maybe I'm not competent enough. Never ever think that. Okay, so because I have experienced the same, a person maybe who might have worked at LinkedIn, left LinkedIn, and again tried to apply at LinkedIn, maybe their applications must have also been rejected in the process. Okay, so don't feel that this is something why there are a lot of I can see motivational stories videos nowadays, that many individuals they post that after 1,000 applications, after 100 applications, I landed my job at maybe Mercedes or Audi, however it is, right? You must have seen those. But it is always like consistency, hard work, or maybe that was not the right time. But it doesn't make you feel, it shouldn't make you feel that, hey, is it not something that I am worth it? It's nothing like that. I have worked with multiple companies before LinkedIn. Okay. And all the companies that I have worked with, I'll say that yes, they were amazing companies. Sometimes when I joined LinkedIn, I feel like, okay, maybe this would have been there at LinkedIn. But it happens, right? It's a human tendency. So it's not like, maybe LinkedIn is the only place, or maybe Microsoft or Google. It's not that these companies will only be like the ultimate goals. There are many other good product-based companies as well, as good as that can give you really good exposure. If I, you can just imagine if I joined LinkedIn at this point of time, obviously I have had, my very good experience with my previous companies. That experiences have, brought me to LinkedIn, right? So it's like an, combination of things in life altogether, your professional career that will help to, kind of derive your career graph. It's not that only solely based on one thing that, I can get through. It's always persistency, and you need to believe in yourself. Always kind of try. Nowadays the best thing I would say is that you have your chat gpt, you have AI everywhere, just your fingertips, right? Earlier, if I have to tell you a quick story about myself, when I made my first resume, there was no AI. Okay, this was 2016-17. There was no AI, right? And I literally made my resume manually. Every font style, every size of the font, it was all manual. There's literally nothing that I can refer to that can tell me that, hey, this is not the right way, it is not an ATS friendly resume. That was all I had from my own research, a bit of Wikipedia that we do, right? As students, that was it. So nowadays you can say that you have AI to use it to the maximum potential, that it can suggest you things that okay, this is not the right way. You can do it this way. But you can understand that we us people, we didn't have that privilege back then, or maybe any assistance. Or we didn't even know that okay, from LinkedIn Learning we can know additional things. So this is how it is, right? So, like moving on to next, I would say are like couple of contents based on AI. I'll just take you through, but I can see in the following sessions, what I'm planning is that we can kind of, have an interactive set of questions from everyone. I would say your questions, as in like, what do you want as an individual to build on? We'll take that like one on one, kind of improvise on those questions and areas, do a research, and again, like kind of, build in more ideas from there, right? Is that fine, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Does
ma'am.
that sound like something, everybody, it will help us all, and, we will learn in the process? Because I'm a person who believes that practical experiments with the things will help you gain more knowledge than just like sitting with, the PPTs and all, right? Because that will be obviously there. I can share it with you, not an issue. But more than that, when we start doing it, right, in practice, that will help us build more, right? All of you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But yeah, you don't have to say yes to everything. You can also say no. Yes? Okay. All right. So I'll just go on the basics because see, there might be some of the students I feel, or maybe there might not be any, which I mean, I'm happy. But I'll just go through the basics of, have like, introducing you to your real LinkedIn profile so that any one of you, if you have not seen that feature or tool in your LinkedIn profile, you can let me know. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure when you have created your account, you must be having something wherein it says that, hey, tell your story, right? Write something about yourself. What's interesting? It says like that when you open your LinkedIn for the first time. So this is kind of the interface which says that it's a headline. Your headline is the first thing people will see, showcase who you are, not just what you do. So here I'll just share a couple of tips with you guys. Whenever you like write a headline, right? Don't make it like, filled with everything. Everything in the sense that suppose I am an engineer, I have just learned a couple of programming languages and I have added all the programming languages on the headline itself. Okay. By that, what happens is when you search, give a like maybe a recruiter is giving a search on LinkedIn to find a particular candidate for a job, and that particular list of programming languages will confuse the recruiter. That okay, this person is an engineer. I know that okay from the headline, but I can see that this person has added n number of languages in their profile, even though they must have worked on. That's not an issue. But when you say all the languages, obviously you will be proficient in maybe two or three at max in an engineering person's career. So from there, that confusion builds up, right? So the more refined your headline is, it will create a better impact. It will help to kind of, ask the recruiter to go through, understand, okay, this. It should be direct so that you can send out a direct message about your profile. It shouldn't be like you have compressed and added everything at one place, right? So I hope like anybody has any questions here before maybe I go to the next slide. Yeah, Ishita, you have something, I believe.
I actually had a question for a while now, but I was too hesitant to interrupt you because I was really enjoying you explaining everything.
Okay.
So I remember you mentioned like while you were explaining us about like in LinkedIn and how it works, you said that sometimes like people with more experience do not land a job, but people with more knowledge and education and relevant knowledge, I would say, has more caliber and they land a job somehow because people these days, industries these days value knowledge over experience. But I, for one, personally, I'm not contradicting at all.
No issues
I
at
just
all.
trying to understand the dynamic of the
Yeah,
industries.
absolutely.
I, for one, have experience. Okay, so when I was in Canada and I was looking for a job, I come across the mindset that people do value experience more than education, and I understand that it could be because of the fact that I was still a student and I did not really have as much of knowledge or relevant knowledge about the industries, and I'm a marketing student, marketing and finance. So I think it is about knowledge, but somehow somewhere I feel like it is very important to balance experience as well. So I did become a student ambassador for my own college. I worked with my uh, as a marketing communication assistant with my college. So I did like gain some experience, uh, and I think then I came to a level where I was like, okay, now I have a good like connection, I would say, over LinkedIn, and people are trying to connect with me because I have some substantial experience on my profile. So is it always the case that you like, I mean, I'm trying to understand if I should always first focus on knowledge gaining, or is it also as important for me to gain experience at the same time with the same particular relevant knowledge?
Sure. So I'll just try to kind of break down, the kind of, you can say, requirements, and, how the knowledge versus the formal education or certain given criterias work. So see, what happens is that in a company, okay, and that company's requirements might vary if it is not in contradiction with, kind of the requirement that the particular hiring manager has set. For example, I'll just explain it to you in an easier way. I want to hire maybe a content writer. Okay, I want to hire a content writer. And in content writing, it's a creative field, right? It's a creative field. So it's like when I post certain criterias on LinkedIn, which is the job description, right? In the job description, I cannot write that a person needs to have 5+ years of experience, 10+ of years of experience for content writing. I'm just giving an example, okay? Because content writers, it depends on the creativity, the content they have created, or maybe a graphic designer for that matter, right? These people are from the creative background. So obviously you can see most of the time the formal education doesn't matter until unless they're written, and even sometimes the representation skills are on point. But to the contrary, for engineers, what happens is, I'll give you an example for that. Engineers, when they just enter the industry as freshers with maybe I can say BTech, for example, right? They have done a BTech and they have just started an internship, maybe XYZ company, and they have landed a full-time opportunity. In that, what happens is, in engineering, you initial phase is that you will learn how to resolve the minor maintenance related things in a given application or maybe a website, right? After that, engineers kind of become proficient in a given programming language. That's the proficiency stage, in wherein they know that, okay, whether I need to choose a backend language or front end, and which diversion that I have to take, is it like front end or maybe backend. After they have a clarity on that, they either go for maybe app development or any other, you can say, development in during that course of time. So that happens when you have a certain degree of experience when you're working. What happens, suppose like today Microsoft, the product is already built, everybody knows. Most of the products will come in the future surrounding AI now, if I have to say, or in analytics mostly, right? In that sense, you can say that there's nothing to build upon. But a company like Zepto, that becomes maybe very famous overnight, right? So there you can say it's an application of people working on one product, and they have got that experience with every department, wherein the formal education is not going to be considered. Why? Because they have worked with a couple of people, they're developing that thing, so they have hands-on experience into the deployment, the pre-deployment stage, the testing phase, everything. But if you hire a engineer from Microsoft, do you think that a person maybe who has done that work is going to even like join Microsoft? No, because the challenges and the interest of that person will vary on the person who joins Microsoft to work on a tool which is already established, right? So in that sense, it's like what I'm trying to say, that the formal education most of the time is not applicable. It is based on the experience. I hope like everybody is able to kind of be on the same page with me. If you have any kind of questions, any thoughts on your mind, you can just ask me. There is no like I have to stop myself. It's fine, you can just ask me. And good that you kind of asked me this thing, because I think most of the people, they think, how is it possible? I used to be that person. That's why I did my formal education. I was like, okay, after this is how it is going to be like. I was not aware that I will land up a full-time opportunity. When I was in search of an internship. Okay, so that happens. I would say that happens in your life, and sometimes the least you expect, you think that you are going to go A, B, C like that. maybe God will send you directly from A to Z and you will be like, how will I do it? Right? I'm sure you must have come across these kind of situations in your maybe everyday life also. Have thought
Yeah,
that,
ma'am.
yeah, anybody, I mean, any experience anyone wants to share, I would be happy to also listen.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
I have
can you just explain about like which type of content is suitable for uploading in the LinkedIn and like how can we actually use LinkedIn more productively, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. So, see, may I know like the majority of the people here, are you from the management side or from the engineering side or a mixture of both? Can anyone tell me that?
I am from the commerce field, ma'am, like commerce
I'm
and
also commerce.
computers.
Don't worry. Anyone else?
Okay.
Ma'am,
Commerce, we
most of
have
us are
engineering, B.Tech. Anyone?
no, most of us are from commerce background only.
Okay, okay, perfect then. I think then whatever I say, it will be like mostly relatable and it will help you guys for sure. So in terms of the content that you kind of can add in your day-to-day life on LinkedIn, so I'll just take that as a question. But other than that, do you guys kind of feel that I need to explain some of the basics, be it like how your profile looks like or on LinkedIn, or do you feel, I mean, anybody, I'm fine to repeat things because I'm sure all of us are learning together. The summary section, anything.
Ma'am, I am new to LinkedIn, so if you could please help me with it.
Can you just come again? I just lost you in between. A bit louder.
I'm saying I am new to LinkedIn, so if you could help me with this once, like the whole profile thing, if
Okay,
it's okay
okay.
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
ma'am. Even I am also like new to LinkedIn, ma'am. Like a month ago, I have created it, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a much idea about LinkedIn. Like, yeah, ma'am.
Okay, okay, sure. Fine, then we can go like one by one quickly on these slides first. I think then I can take your questions, which will be morely like, how you can kind of play with your profile, what else you can do. So that will take it, I think, maybe at a later stage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, I take that as a yes for everyone. Okay, so first thing, as I explained, headline. I told you how it should be. It should be basically neat and clean, easy to kind of get to you, to the main person that I want to kind of understand what kind of work is this person doing, right? So the next is a summary. It, I'm sure everybody must have seen, and I think two girls, right, who were just asking me that how we have to do the basic profile building. So this is part of the profile building. So just let me know if in case you guys have not been able to see this page or maybe these fields on your feed. Just let me know. Have you guys seen this on your LinkedIn profile?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, right? Okay, perfect. So, see the summary section. It should, since you all are just studying right now, or maybe you are going to kind of complete your education, always keep your, summary in a way that you have completed so and so education and you're looking for, potential, I can say, internships or maybe opportunities in this particular domain. Because when you're from commerce, obviously you have, marketing, finance, HR, mostly the common ones, right? And nowadays we have supply chain management. There's also entrepreneurship. A lot of things are there. So you need to build on what you are proficient into or what your specialization lies in. It's fine even if you are dual specialization like HR with finance and you want to kind of build on it, but you can just add what you are currently pursuing and what you kind of intend to pursue going ahead, whether it is marketing, whether it is like finance or entrepreneurship. Somebody also does family business, I can say retail, then luxury management, hospitality sector. Somebody wishes to go to the hospitality sector. So all these kind of things are there which you can add on your summary page, because once you kind of gain experience when you join a company, you do a business, right? You will have more content to add there. But if you see here on this video, this person, they are just showing it. I hope my screen is visible now, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So here, as you can see, it is just like showing you how you need to add it. Even nowadays, LinkedIn has recently built a feature wherein you just have to say what you are doing, right? You just have to speak, and it will kind of put that as a summarized form for your summary page. Okay, even that you can try and do. That will make your work easier. And we have prompts that you can put on Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, right? Some of the, you can say, AI tools, and you can get a better revised summary. Sometimes we feel that, okay, what if the spelling is wrong? What if the structure of the sentence and the entire I can say paragraph is wrong? You can just get a quick chat GPT or Gemini and understand that, okay, you can also write it in a much I can say better in a much better way. So that will help you a lot, so you can utilize these particular tools. Other than that, next, the summary you have also said, you can see some of the points which we have. It says that who you are, 1 to 2 sentences, experience, top skills and passions, goals and encouragement to engage. Because the goals and encouragement to engage is why it says is because the other person, suppose I am reading a profile, right? You have just only said the basic things. I have studied in this particular college, this and that. Never ever mention your college in your summary. Why? Because we have a dedicated section to showcase wherein you have pursued your education. Okay. And you don't have to, I have seen even like most of the experienced people, they, mention their parents' name on their resume. They will add like their blood group. Also, they will mention like all the, marks they have attained in their formative years during their school, colleges. But don't do that. Mention your college, your degree, that's fine, because no company is looking for your marks. Okay. And most of it, you will always see that these things are only required when you have to get into a college, but this is not required when you have to get into a job. A job is not about your marks. A job is always about, first is your experience. Next is, if you are a resource that can be resourceful for the company, and if you as a resource, if hired in that particular company, if the potential of the team is going to be better, or it's not going to be that amazing. Correct? Because see, today, like how I'm trying to talk to you, interact with you, this is something even the interviewers are going to notice. Because suppose there is a person A, candidate A, versus a candidate B. Okay. Candidate A has like all the good marks, all 90s, good prestigious universities, and good companies, but lacks in cultural fitment, doesn't have like the behavior to adapt to that particular culture of the company. And LinkedIn is like very specific about culture, right? So some of the companies, they promote culture because there's a lot of, you can say, issues that people have to face if the culture doesn't align with that particular resource. And candidate B has, maybe you can say, average marks, right? Worked in okayish companies, and but the person is very engaging, the person is very knowledgeable, very kind of easy to work with. So you tell me, is the company going to shortlist candidate A or candidate B for this job?
B, of course.
B, of course, right? So
Yes,
these are
ma'am.
the kind of things you need to think. And any day in your interview, you have to tell only that much with what is being asked to you by the interviewer when you start with the introduction. You don't have to go, in terms of your projects, all these things. So when you start your intro, always be mindful that you give what exactly the person wants to hear. Because if you stretch your time just telling about your achievements and everything, that the other person is not willing to be interested in knowing you, right? The person will not wait to be like, okay, fine, fine, let me just take to the next question. We'll try to always allow the other person to kind of have the upper hand in interview, but you need to ensure that you have the alignment to answer those questions and have the upper hand in that. Don't overshadow the person sitting in front of you, but always be in a very you can say generous manner. Understand the things, ask the questions in a very proper way, then kind of take time and answer. And don't get nervous at all, because see, how you interact with people, always take an interview as an interaction. Even the person sitting in front of you is also a person who has learned from his or her mistakes, right? Gain experiences, and is sitting in that position to kind of take your interview. You will also be in their shoes at some point of time. So through that, you just need to understand it's a process of just interaction. It's not a process of getting scared, nervous, or maybe demotivated at some time. So don't think all of these things, right? Always, and yes, always go for as many interviews you can in your life. Whatever calls you get from companies, ensure you attend it. Because it's not that if you think that, okay, Microsoft will wait or Google will wait and just call me someday, it's not going to happen, right? You need to kind of pre-prepare yourself. If you have seen some of the great motivational stories from engineers who have got like rejected maybe 10, 20 times, then they land their job in a very good company, they have the same story. Excuse me. So it's the preparation stage. Okay, we'll just move on to the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so LinkedIn, as you know, after putting a summary and your profile, basic details, it gives you and allows you to choose some of the top skills which you feel is that you have it in you. Suppose if I, maybe write skills related to time management, I put some skills related to communication. These skills not only align with me as an individual, it also aligns with my professional aspects. There are two things you need to always be mindful of. If you put these kind of skills on your LinkedIn profile, I won't say that every person is going to kind of read thoroughly, but these skills and answering these things will help you to answer the same in your interviews, because most of the interviewers, there's a very common question to kind of help the candidates get very comfortable, is that can you just tell me a couple of skills, or what are the kind of strong skills you have for which this particular position is being hired for. This is a very common question. So there you need cannot say that I think maybe this one, I think maybe this one, right? Don't think. You just need to be specific about three skills at least about yourself that aligns with the role and what you bring to the company when you join them. And most of the companies obviously see communication is something that they definitely look for. Why? Because you will be interacting not only with the people sitting in India or maybe only your colleagues, you will also be interacting with people across the globe, right? Because here at LinkedIn, there are so many people that come from the US. They will be here, they'll spend some time, and there are people who will come from the UK, like different n number of countries. You will not know also when you will, get a chance to kind of interact with them all of a sudden. Maybe you're passing by and you might be just say hi, and the other person is interested to kind of know something. Maybe, hey, where the pantry is, how are you doing? Right? So you can say communicative person is somebody why they look for is because you can have or start a conversation, right? It's only not just for your role, but overall, you at least have a persona that can be approached to. You can be in a way that, yes, you can speak, you don't have any restrictions, right? So, this is an important aspect, like in any company, if you go for, so they will expect that out of you. Okay, so I'll just move this here so that it doesn't go here and there. Okay. So here it says expand your network strategically. Reach out to people who you have something in common with. So suppose somebody asks me that, ma'am, I'm like a college student, or maybe I'm just, just started college. If I create a LinkedIn profile, I don't know anybody, whom shall I connect with? That's a very obvious question which everybody has. My profile was, created by the help of, the first manager in my first company. And I think the request that I sent it to was the team I was working with. That's how my LinkedIn, connection request journey started. Okay. And it's the same with everyone. And it's very obvious that as a human being, you will feel inclined towards connecting with those whom you know first. Once you know maybe the 10 people of your own particular group, the other 10 from your friends group will automatically connect through that, through maybe common interests. I think maybe Ishita or somebody have said, right, that you connected with people because of a common, I can say, point, which was creative, I think content creation, if I'm not wrong. So that's how I'm saying you just can build from there. You can also connect with your teachers. You can connect with your ex, alumni people who were there in your school, college, because you're not tracking in your everyday life that, yeah, where my best friend is studying. You don't, nowadays there is no time. World is running so fast that you don't have the time. So when you connect with your best friend, or maybe, your teacher or anybody, right? You understand it, okay, what is going on. When you log into LinkedIn, you can see like what are they have posted, right? What they are up to, whether somebody has started something new. You can reach out to them. Hey, hi, like, how are you doing and what are you up to? I see that you have posted this and this. It looks amazing. I would also love to learn. Most of the connections, build from conversations like these. When you see and you want to understand it, okay, how to go about it, right? Some of the people, I'll tell you that, when they apply for any job outside of India or anything, they have a lot of, visa and I can say interviews that the other countries take to, kind of take in an international candidate. There are a lot of interview processes. So they kind of, get a lot of help from their connections who have already been in that country. And even you get references as well. This is what even I have seen from most of my connections who are working outside of India, or maybe they are going to work outside of India. They even people get help with their accommodation, right? Like NRIs which are there outside of India. So, but suppose like an Indian is going to maybe Dubai or UK, right? You don't know people there in the UK or Dubai, right? And the culture is very different. In India, you will find very interactive people. People are willing to help. But in UK or maybe Dubai, right, you need to rely mostly on yourself, because they don't like interact much with strangers like how it is very open in India, right? So they kind of have less interaction in those areas. You definitely need somebody who is maybe from your native country. You need help with it. So I've seen a lot of posts people have posted that through LinkedIn they got a lot of help with their relocation assistance, finding an accommodation, or maybe landing an internship, etc., etc. Right? So you build on your connections. It's a slow process initially, but when you kind of start with maybe 20 connections or 30, from there you kind of start building up, right? Okay. Okay, so the next is message connections. So I'll tell you that initially, when you are working as a college student, obviously LinkedIn has this feature wherein you cannot send connections after a certain limit is exhausted. You have to retry after a certain time period. So it restricts the number of invites you send, or you need to either get a premium, right? But that is ensured so that people don't spam also each other. This happens a lot, right? Because sometimes people will give you a number of calls or messages. This is just to avoid that. We have a dedicated limit to send the invitations or connection requests. So here, in any connection that you send, just don't send it just like that. Maybe even if it is a senior person, you don't know the person, you just want to connect with them, right? Maybe just add one small message when you send it. Hey, hi, I'm so and so, and I would love to connect and learn more about the experiences that you share on LinkedIn. You can share a very nice I can say message in that particular I can say connection request that you send, because LinkedIn allows you to do so. You have to send a message sometimes, right? So you utilize those features. At least the other person will be getting maybe what 100 or 50 requests from different people, right? At least when you send out a message, maybe it happens that, yeah, you might also start a conversation with the person. Sometimes that might be helpful for you also to understand that, okay, hey, I see this and this. Because I am from HR, so I happen to receive, a lot of resumes sometimes directly from most of the potential job seekers on my LinkedIn. However, you can say that I just like, kind of reach out, I just kind of reply back to them stating that, hey, this position is not currently existing in this particular company. Or maybe I have seen a resume. If you can just refine a resume like this and you can apply, right? Because sometimes engineers who have just passed out from college, they're very excited to kind of get a job. And when it gets frustrating after, multiple applications, they don't get a job. Obviously, it kind of feels very demotivating for them, right? So these kind of things, it will show a very nice gesture to the other person, and you can develop on that conversation. right? Because when I used to kind of hire a lot of candidates, right? So I usually have to, kind of send a first greeting message to the potential candidates that I feel that is applicable for this particular job. So in that case, the interaction becomes better. The other person will at least respond like either, hey, this is something that I'm planning, but it's not working out because of this and this. At least they will respond to you sometimes or in a nicer way, right? So it's very important that you kind of message your, send the connection request in a way that is very nice and pleasant. It's not always mandatory when you send it to your friends, obviously, but maybe a senior person, whose work maybe you have seen, you have admired. You can put it there in the message, send it across. Okay. Okay, so next is add value and engage with the network. As I said, that the close people whom you work with, it's not that you spam them with messages every time, but keep it very professional. Because see, this is not Facebook or Instagram, right? On Facebook, Instagram, it's like always, some emojis, hundreds of emojis sent to your friends. I'll be sending some other, this videos, reels, exchange, you can see videos and reels with each other. It's like that. But LinkedIn is not meant for that. So stay very meaningful, ask questions that are related to that particular job, understand that how can you be a potential fit, what all areas, if somebody can maybe help you suggest that, yeah, can you just help me with this? I would love to understand further, right? Those kind of questions create engagements. And whenever you see that maybe your friend, your colleague, or maybe somebody your senior, anybody, if they have posted some achievement, posted some very insightful, thoughtful things, engage, like, kind of either like, support it, comment, this also increases your reach to the other people who are connected with that particular individual. This helps also, right? I'm sure guys must have felt that, or if you have used LinkedIn for quite some time. So that really helps because your visibility is created in their network as well. Okay. And there are also resource groups that you can join. Like in our company, we have our company group that we kind of join, and people across the globe, they'll share moments from their life with their pets, with their families. It's a very casual like group. So people interact, exchange things, right? So it's a very happening group that we have here. That it's a global one. So anybody can post anything, the events that are happening around the world, we get to know a lot of things. So it's like that. And the last one, it says write recommendations for others. It's not necessary that somebody is not giving you recommendation, you don't give it to them. You can give your recommendation to somebody you feel like must have played a very insightful role in your life, right? Suppose maybe I'm on LinkedIn, three of you must have wrote something for me. Suppose there is an HR from another company who is seeking freshers, okay, and they happen to come to my profile just to see. Maybe sometimes it happens that we accidentally kind of want to see, or we intentionally want to see what the other person is doing, where they are working and whatnot. So you happen to scroll, and you see that, okay, these two people have written recommendations. So that kind of gives you a spotlight for them, that we can hire these particular position for these two potential looking freshers, because maybe Sonia has worked with them. That's why they wrote this recommendation. So why not, we can speak to Sonia and kind of get their understanding of how these particular freshers are, if she has worked with them. You're getting my point, how that entire cycle works. So here at LinkedIn or maybe any social media platform today you use, you always understand it's a cycle. It's not an endpoint that A to B, B to C. It's not that anymore. You reach out to somebody, you see, always you get suggestions on Instagram. This is how Instagram has become not just a social media platform for just posting things. It has developed into a marketing tool. Today people don't reach out to this advertisements here, or for hoardings and all. They are not into that anymore. Everything people are doing nowadays to sell their product is either through Instagram or LinkedIn. They're trying to leverage these platforms. Why? Because it has now moved to a marketing, a branding tool. It has changed its course of, you can say, layers over a period of time. That's why most of the people, when you see that, hey, this person has these many followers, how? Because they are posting, that's obviously there on Instagram. Even the same algorithm works even on LinkedIn. That creates visibility on your connections, who are there. That's how it works. And also, you can say ensure that you have like a proper, you can say photo uploaded in a professional manner. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be that you are shooting in a studio or something. It need not be that. But what you wear and how you appear properly, it should be there in a very professional way so that it looks that, yeah, this particular person, is a genuine account. Because most of the people sometimes they think a lot of fake accounts are floating on LinkedIn. Like how Instagram, it's very easy to create a fake profile, right? But on LinkedIn, you can say they ensure that you log in from a Gmail, it's connected, and they ask for your identity. Why? If we are trying to kind of eliminate a lot of spam, from LinkedIn, be it like the content that some of the people posts, the engagement that they get by using bots. This is something our engineering team is trying every day to kind of refine it more and more. So leverage that. Put a very good professional photo. Okay, even though you're a student, I said you can just post some of the meaningful things, your achievements, till the time maybe you have like more to speak of when you enter into any other field, right? Okay, so with that, we'll just go to the next slide. Anyone
Now
of you?
I have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah, sure. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
So, like you mentioned, like people recommend you on on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
I want to know, like, does the value of those recommendations somehow directly proportionate to the credibility of the person recommending? Like, if the person who's recommending has a is of a higher stature and has a very good professional background, is that somehow affects the recommendation they are giving, or is it like quality or quantity, like what's weighs more?
So I will always say that quality, okay, quantity, it won't, because I will tell you that at some point of time, right? Suppose I'll just give you an example. I know you, okay, I have recommended you, but you will obviously go through the process at the end of the day, right? Even if I give you a recommendation, it's not like that he see Sonia is given, so obviously she's going to land the job. It doesn't work that way. You have to go through the process. It's just that sometimes in that particular 1,000 applications, right? If I refer somebody, the referrals are kind of screened out first. While tell you, see, as a company, obviously we will give preference to our employees first. We have to resolve the queries from our internal employees first, then we have to go and seek the outsiders, right? If we have potential within the company, why we won't give preference to those people? It's an obvious thing, because they have worked either with that person, or maybe they have that experience. That's why this particular recommendation has come from someone. Correct? So you have to, any which ways, prove your worth, go through the process. But sometimes it becomes slightly easier. Why? Because the person have known you. Like suppose I work with one of the directors who happens to be, head at a very good reputed company. So you can see that his particular recommendation, why it will work for me, is because he has seen my work into the same domain. I have to go through the process. I have to run the BGV, on my profile, and everything will happen, right? At the end of the day, it is going to be a cumulative decision, not a single person's decision. But that will help me at least to get through the process that, yeah, if I have the potential, I can go through it. That's how the entire recommendation works. I hope like I answered your question.
Yeah, you did it does make sense, yes.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Thank you. Anybody else? I saw like somebody else also raised their hand. I'll just move this. Yeah, Khushi, go ahead.
So I had a question a little bit related to what you spoke earlier. So I wanted to ask that you're talking about storytelling. As someone who's been trying personal branding on her own, sometimes I feel like the aspects of my life aren't like very unique and I can't really put them into a story. So I would really like to hear your take on it. And also, like, I would love if you could give some examples of profiles you thought had wonderful storytelling like, on them.
Mhm.
So that would be really helpful.
Sure. So, see, coming to your point, uh, if you contradict your own skills, I mean, in terms of it's a creative field, especially asking about writing, right? Writing is something which will be different from every individual's experiences. You might have an inclination to write, more about the maybe fashion industries, maybe for an example, right? But the other person is fascinated to, write about their daily struggles, their experiences, what they have overcome, right? So it's like that. So it is a combination of things. It's not like that this is going to sell, this is not going to sell, but it's like an overall thing. So when you say this, you should just know that when you post, right, first thing is that you are showcasing your skills. It is for you, your personal branding, your personal skill set, your writing skills. It doesn't happen to kind of first get influenced by the outside people, because see, when you post in any which ways, you will have a mixture mixture of reactions. But don't you think that will help you to refine it more and can understand how can you do it much better, or what kind of audiences are getting more engaged with your content? Obviously you will. So it's always a both combination of positive and negative things. It's everywhere in the world. It's not going to be suitable for everyone, but it's going to be a combination for everyone, right? So in that sense, you can just leverage your skills first and let the audience decide that, okay, how is it? But why you're doing that? You're building your own brand. That's the main motive, right? It's not that you have to get judged by the other person. So it's like that. Can you just like give me 1 minute? I guess like there's somebody. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be back 1 minute. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I was telling about you regarding the writing thing. Anything else you would like to ask me if I didn't answer your question? Any additional point that I missed?
Yeah, so actually, I would like to clarify. My question was not about like what I should put out there. It was more about like I'm putting stuff out there, but I really don't know how to make it more engaging to my audience or to kind of make it more captivating. So to like give an example, as Ishita also mentioned, I'm also a marketing student.
Mm-hmm.
And one instance was I made a project on a brand and I really like the brand. But I really don't know how to like make an engaging story out of it. Like my question was more about how like consumable or easy to consume I can make that content, because unfortunately and obviously we can't like make like an entire paragraph of what we like and put it
Yeah.
out there. There has to be some like format into it. So that is why that was my question. And the another thing I asked was any examples of like good storytelling or personal branding you saw like in your experience, like what spoke to you when you were looking at profiles?
Sure. So I'll just start off with the last question first. Okay, that is about the personal branding and what kind of things that motivated. So first thing I would say is like the how the algorithm plays. If you have been like a very persistent person who has like posted some of the personal stories or anything, yeah, right. You have maybe overcome or achievement that had a story behind it. So based on the algorithm over a period of time and the number of connections also, if I have to be very specific, that kind of creates an engagement. Like suppose even I might have like 5K connections. I'm just giving an example. Okay. In that 5K connections, you can see it might not be accessible, reachable to everyone. But why? Because maybe I have not interacted with those many people over a period of time. If you see the engagement in the profiles that you see usually, sometimes see what our engineers have figured out is like the influential people or even the people who are mostly into the marketing field, right? A lot of times just to make that particular content reachable to an n number of audience, they use a lot of bots. which our kind of engineering team, as I said earlier, they're trying to eliminate that as much as possible. They're trying to eliminate that. They're still trying to work on the back end. How can we, eliminate most of it? They're still like doing a very great job. Still, like the team is working. But the engagement, if you see in some of the profiles, it comes is because the person has maybe a huge, base wherein they have started interacting with their audience from the very beginning. If I tell you that when you start off, obviously it's hard. I'm not going to be just saying that since you're from marketing, or maybe even I have done, marketing during my college days, it will be easy, right? Because we know like how the inside tools and how we navigate towards it, right? So it's not going to be easy, obviously, when you just start off. It takes some time, but what I'm trying to say is that be persistent. And if I have to tell you one story, that is about an engineer who happened to kind of, relocate from Seattle to India, and he happened to kind of, like the atmosphere of India after leaving India, thinking that the atmosphere out there is going to be much better than India, or maybe the work life balance, or maybe because of the pay scale and everything. But he narrated that story in a way that people found it relatable. Today, maybe suppose you said that you have posted something about a brand or a project, right? You can say maybe I love fashion, maybe I love music, dance, or anything that is related to fashion industry. That might not be fascinating for engineers, because engineers mostly you will see that they are so much into things related to their particular background that they don't find these things interesting. So in that also you need to understand that you at least have a connection with the people from that particular audience as well, so that you get that engagement. People will be like, hey, even I did this, how did you do? I would love to learn. I hope you're getting me there.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. That was helpful.
Yeah, and coming to like, how you can make it more reachable, I would say that, see, nowadays, obviously, we have the hashtags even on Instagram, like, Instagram we have, but we even have for LinkedIn as well. Okay, so some of the hashtags you can also put it on ChatGPT and kind of take it and put it, because when we have our in-house programs at LinkedIn within the company, so LinkedIn usually provides us those hashtags for those events that, we can post, and that can go and circulate amongst the other groups, because there's a team who is already at LinkedIn. They know the engagement is like from this particular hashtag using this, right? So those you can like, kind of study and put those hashtags on your profile when you post something, that kind of bring in that engagement. But again, like the audience is something you have to be mindful of. You need to maybe like, connect with more people from that particular genre, create a group or a community that builds up on your particular post. Whenever you post it, they have an interaction. Suppose I'm scrolling through, somebody has posted something about maybe a hackathon, or maybe they must have won something, and it's a very unique idea, niche one. But maybe when I scroll through, I'm like, this is alien to me, I don't know anything about it. But yeah, I will say that, hey, congratulations for your achievement. This happens every day. I have my friends who are engineers. I'll be like, hey, congratulations, but maybe I don't know what they are doing, or maybe what exactly the idea must have helped someone, right? So it's like an combination of couple of things, but you will get there. It's not like it just happens in a month. Even if you have seen influencers, it's not that it happens in a day. It's persistence. It's a lot of dynamics nowadays. Content is very hard, I would say, because a lot of people are creating it, and it's very niche content that most of people are also creating. It's very hard, obviously, because so many billions of people we have, and it takes time. But yeah, I'm sure you'll get there, because you have just started. So keep that persistence on, and whenever there's something very amazing and creative, why not put it out there? Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, so I think we have like 2 minutes. I'll quickly kind of take this. It's not that it's a mandate kind of thing, but yeah, I would like you guys to kind of build in some of the questions from today's session, and do have some questions for the upcoming session, so that we can kind of go one by one, because the session is not going to be one on one, right? So since we have a batch, so I would encourage every one of you to bring something, right? Your questions, like your understanding, your experiences, anything. I mean, maybe I cannot maybe answer like the 100% of it, maybe something out of my own experience. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just cover this last bit. I think we have 1 minute. I can take 1 minute extra, I believe. So this is for the search and apply for jobs. So first thing, if you want that your profile comes on LinkedIn, the recruiter searches you on LinkedIn, is that put the open to work option, which you have below your profile on LinkedIn. I guess everybody must have seen that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
You have or you haven't? Should I take it as a yes then? Somebody was saying something, I guess. All right, no problem. I think maybe we can carry on in the next session for that then. Okay, so next is exploring and searching for jobs. So always be mindful that under the jobs, icon, right? You will get n number of jobs, but the only thing is that you need to refine it by using some of the appropriate things. Like you need to understand, or since you have obviously AI, you can understand that for a person who has done BCom or maybe BBA or maybe BSW, right? What kind of searches are applicable when I put it on the job search that can show me some relatable job options. What we usually do is like we think that okay, we have done management or we are from commerce background, right? We'll put as finance, we'll put as marketing. It doesn't work that way. Suppose I am from HR. HR has different roles. Okay, there will be a talent acquisition specialist. Some companies will have job title as talent acquisition, associate, or maybe quality assurance person. Like a different n number of terminologies are used every day by different companies. So to find like an appropriate one, it is always going to be slightly difficult, but you need to use different combinations. Once you have tried one, try the other one so that you get a proper wider search while doing the job search. Suppose you're looking for somebody who is doing, I can say operations, or maybe an associate finance consultant. It will be sometimes like that. Or maybe, payroll specialist. Different terminologies are used in different companies. So it's always best that you kind of get one particular terminology for a particular specialization. Suppose for marketing, there will be like you can say marketing associate, or they will name it in a very different manner, right? A different kind of hierarchies in companies that define different kind of job title. So that you just have to be sometimes mindful of which exactly you are targeting. There are people who do marketing, but then they land a job for an HR role. But when we say HR role, HR has different functions. There is a person who's going to hire you. There's a person who is going to onboard you for the operations. There's a person who is also going to look after your benefits. There's a person who is going to be taking care of the all the payroll related queries within HR, but not like related to your salary, because salary is always coming under finance. Finance is going to see everything, like it is in order, the compliance part. So all these things. So in HR, I have also seen this happens, that most of the placement people, right, or agencies, they reach out to the person who is not even hiring. They're not even into recruitment, but they reach out to them because they don't know that, yeah, in HR, there are different departments. They're taking care of different activities altogether, right? So this is just an example. So that because most of you are from management background, so I thought this is going to be an appropriate one to kind of refine your search while searching for any kind of potential internships or jobs, right? So I'll just wrap it up here. I just took 3 minutes more, but the rest of the part I'll surely kind of carry on in the next session. Any thoughts before we kind of wind up the session for today? Anyone? If anyone is saying, I think you're on mute. Anyone, any thoughts? Any suggestions? Any topics you would like me to cover in the next session additionally? I mean, anything anyone can say, don't worry. Yeah, and I see.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to share the feedback of the session. It was really good, very interactive, very one-on-one session, and I think it's a something I would look forward to for the next sessions. Like actually, it was very experience gaining session for me because I am new to LinkedIn. So I learned something which I don't think I would have learned from YouTube videos or from a third person, which I learned today. So thank you for that.
You're most welcome. I am happy like to kind of share as much as possible because I believe that when you get an interactive session or a direct one-on-one, the concentration levels are more compared to when we see a YouTube video. The reason being is there's a lot of distractions, right? There might be some ads. We will feel like, okay, we saw a shopping ad. That happens with me also. Okay, by the way, we see a shopping and we are like, just leave it. We'll continue it later and we'll go to the shopping page. But then it never happens eventually. Okay, so I also believe that the sessions are much better, always insightful when you have this one-on-one interaction and experiences being shared. And I hope that all of you can take the most of it and also come with your own questions because that makes it more interesting and informative. I might learn something and maybe put it back to my engineering, colleagues here at LinkedIn that, hey, some of the people feel that this is something maybe, LinkedIn lacks, and I think nowadays, the generation that you have, you see more things than maybe we do. So it's always best that come up with more, kind of questions. And other people also who are there on the call don't get very intimidated, by the entire session. There are a couple of more obviously scheduled for you people, but let's, make the most of it. Yeah, all thumbs up. Yeah. All right, then I'll see you guys in the next session. And thank you so much for being a very lovely audience. And thank you, Pasna, for coordinating the entire session for us.
It was a
So,
real
yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. Yes,
Yes,
enjoy
I
yourself.
just want to officially just say thank you so much, Sonia. I know from the chat that all the girls have found this so useful, and we have a lot more lined up on AI and AI features that I've learned so much myself after joining LinkedIn and going through these coaches programs. So I'm very excited for all of you. Thank you for engaging with the content so closely. I also want to say a quick thank you to the EduNet team for kind of helping us put this together. And Bhavna is also on the call, who leads social impact for us from India. This has been really a labor of love to launch the AI Careers Fellowship for you all. And we'd like to also thank our other partners, Microsoft, SAP, MSD. It's not an easy job coordinating all of this, but like just seeing you all and seeing how useful has you have found it is so meaningful. So thank you again, and lots to come, so stay excited and come with lots of questions. And thank you, Sonia, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, and have a lovely weekend. We'll see you guys. I think most probably next week the session will be scheduled. Around I have requested for Mondays and Fridays just because it doesn't conflict with my office schedule. So we'll keep you updated on that and see you. Yeah, bye everyone.
Thank you, Sonia. Students, please kindly fill the checkout form and also the self-paced course, and mark your self-attendance for today. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the session today. I think the next session I'll be updating in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Any questions, students? No, right? Topic name, it's about LinkedIn.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes, Estelle.
Ma'am, actually, the last class, I actually at the starting of the session, I was there and I marked my self attendance, but after a few minutes, I got really sick and I just left the class. So, is there any problem which will occur for that, ma'am?
Okay, so let me check and let you know. Okay, I want to check the timings, like how long you are being in the Zoom meeting. So let me check and I will connect with you. Shruti,
Okay,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What's your full name, Shruti?
Shruti only, ma'am.
Shruti. Okay, okay, I will connect with you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Happy weekend, students. See you all next week. Thank you. Bye. I'm resharing the checkout form again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jyoti, finally you have joined.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, students. All are done with the form?